Hi everyone, my name is Brenna Carr and I'm a medical dietetic student at The Ohio State University. Thanks for tuning into this video. Today we're going to be talking about a phytochemical that has gotten a lot of popularity in the media lately, probiotics. Probiotics are commonly found in foods like yogurt and kefir and can provide many digestive and health benefits when we add them into our diet. So today we'll talk about what probiotics are, what they can do for you, and how to fit foods like yogurt and kefir into your diet. Okay, so let's jump right into one of our main topics for today. What actually are probiotics? So probiotics are defined as live microorganisms found mainly in fermented foods that have been proven to benefit our bodies. Now, probiotics are not a necessity for survival. Our bodies already contain gut bacteria that help us to digest food and fight off infection. Probiotics are simply boosters that we can consume to help that gut bacteria do its job. In general, probiotics support our gut bacteria by helping to fight off any bad bacteria that may be trying to grow in our gut. This helps our body digest food and overall have better gut health. So people with gastrointestinal problems such as diarrhea, bloating, or irritable bowel syndrome may see improvements in their condition by taking probiotics. Also, by fighting off bad bacteria, probiotics are supporting our immune system and helping us stay overall healthy. One preliminary study showed that probiotics may be able to suppress the reactions in our body that cause rapid tumor growth in conditions like cancer. Now again, this is just a preliminary study. There's a lot of testing that needs to happen before that's proven, but it's exciting to see the research in this area continue to grow, and it's exciting to know that there are many other potential benefits that we don't even know about yet. In general, we are recommending that you should have 1 serving of probiotic-containing foods every day. Research has shown that probiotics can't actually colonize in our gut. So what this means is that when we ingest probiotics, they're providing the benefit to our bodies without actually settling in the gut. As we eat food and digest things throughout the day, those probiotics will eventually make their way out of our bodies. So we need to make sure we're eating these probiotic foods regularly in order to continuously replenish those probiotics in our body. So that's a great segue to talk about the food sources of probiotics. I mentioned earlier that probiotics are found mostly in fermented foods. So when a food goes through the process of fermentation, natural bacteria begins to feed on the sugar and the starches in the food and create lactic acid. This lactic acid can then help good bacteria stay in the food, and that good bacteria is what we refer to as probiotics. So some of the most common sources of probiotics are foods like yogurt and kefir, which we'll be talking about more in the rest of the video. Also kombuchas, sauerkraut, tempeh, kimchi, sourdough bread, some cheeses, and more. Another potential source of probiotics are probiotic supplements, but let's talk about that one a little further. So in general, the dietary supplement industry is very unregulated. Dietary supplements, including probiotics, don't require the FDA or any other organization to approve them before they're being sold. Therefore, there's always some risk involved in taking dietary supplements. If you choose to use a probiotic supplement, I would recommend running it by your clinician first. It could be a primary care physician, a pharmacist, or a dietitian. Just talk to them about it, tell them about the brand that you decided to use, and see what they have to say about it to make sure that you are using a safe supplement. So with that, let's continue talking about yogurt and kefir and how you can incorporate these foods into your diet. First, let's talk about yogurt. So yogurt is made by adding bacteria to milk and allowing that fermentation process to happen. Greek yogurt is started the same way by adding the bacteria to milk and allowing it to ferment, but it goes through an extra straining process at the end where the excess whey and lactose are actually strained out of the product. That's why Greek yogurt has a bit of a thicker texture. And Greek yogurt also usually has more protein per serving than normal yogurt. Kefir is similar to any kind of yogurt in that it is a cultured milk product, but it's made a little bit differently. So the kefir making process begins with a kefir grain, which you can think of as a little bundle of yeast and lactic acid. This gets added to milk, and over time, usually about 24 hours, those lactic acid and yeast organisms multiply out. As they multiply, they begin feeding on the sugars in the milk, which is causing that fermentation process that we talked about before. At the end of the process, excess kefir grains are removed and you have your final product. Compared to normal or Greek yogurt, kefir contains more vitamins and minerals and has a wider variety of those probiotic bacterial strains. Some of you out there may be thinking, how am I supposed to get my probiotics if I'm lactose intolerant? Well, I have some good news for you. Different types of yogurt and kefir contain different lactose contents. Remember how we talked about Greek yogurt being different than regular yogurt because it goes through that extra straining process. In that straining, a lot of the lactose is removed. In fact, Greek yogurt normally has about half the lactose content of normal yogurt. So if you're lactose intolerant, you may be able to tolerate Greek yogurt very well. As for kefir, those different types of bacteria that it contains actually enjoy feeding on the lactose. So again, if you're lactose intolerant, you may be able to tolerate kefir well. Everybody's body is different, but if you're lactose intolerant, I would recommend trying a small amount of Greek yogurt or kefir to see if your body can tolerate it better than regular yogurt. Also, as I mentioned earlier, there are many other non-dairy sources of probiotics, such as those kombuchas, sourdough breads, cheeses, etc. With all of these probiotic options, you may be thinking, how am I supposed to choose which foods to eat to get my probiotics in? In the end, you should choose the food that you enjoy most, because the most important thing is that we're getting those probiotics in our diet, and you're more likely to eat a food if you like how it tastes. So now that we know more about probiotics and how they reside in yogurt and kefir, let's talk about some tips for purchasing, storing, and preparing these foods. First of all, when you're shopping for yogurt, you should look for something that says contains live and active cultures or NYA approved on the label. This is just a verification that it is a good source of probiotics. Also, not all yogurt is created equal. It's important to look at the ingredients list and nutrition facts when buying yogurt. Some brands or even specific flavors of yogurt may contain a lot more added sugar than others. So as a rule of thumb, try to look for yogurts that contain less than 15 grams of sugar per serving. As for storage, yogurt and kefir need to be kept in the fridge, which means below 41 degrees at all times. If you're eating Greek yogurt, you may be surprised to find a liquid layer has settled on top of the yogurt when you take it out of the fridge. No need to fear, this is completely normal. It's just a little bit of that excess whey product, and it actually contains a lot of calcium. So just go ahead and mix it back into the Greek yogurt and enjoy. Another important part of yogurt and kefir storage is paying attention to expiration dates. These are usually found on the side of the container or on the lid, so just make sure to check these every once in a while to make sure that the product you're about to eat is still in date. So now for the fun part, preparing and eating the food. Who doesn't love eating food, right? So with yogurt and kefir, there's always the option to just eat them plain, but personally, I like to add a little more flavor and texture to my snack. So let's head into the kitchen and make some yummy probiotic-containing snacks. One of the things that I love to make with Greek yogurt or regular yogurt is a parfait. It's so delicious and it's super quick and easy, so let's make one today. All you're gonna need is some sliced up berries. I chose strawberries, granola, chia seeds, and of course, Greek yogurt. Now you have a delicious parfait that you can use as a side for meals, as breakfast, as dessert, really as anything, and it's a great source of probiotics. Another great thing you can make with yogurt or kefir is a smoothie. Smoothies are super popular lately. They're great because they're easy to make, you can take them on the go, and they're really nutritious and filling. We've got our snacks. Let's wrap up everything that we've talked about today. So, probiotics are live microorganisms that have been shown to benefit our bodies by fighting off bad bacteria, supporting our good bacteria, fighting off infections, and possibly many other benefits that are still being studied. To see these benefits, you should be consuming probiotics regularly in your diet. Foods like yogurt and kefir are great sources of these probiotics. We talked a little bit about the differences between different types of yogurt and kefir, including lactose content, and we talked about some tips for purchasing and preparing these foods. So when you're buying yogurt at the store, you should look for a label that says contains live and active cultures or NYA approved to make sure that it is a good source of probiotics. You should also be paying attention to the sugar content and expiration date on any yogurt or kefir type foods. Keep them in the refrigerator when you're at home, and when you're ready to take them out, you now have some great ideas to make some yummy snacks with them. You can make parfaits, smoothies, and so much more. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you learned more about probiotics today. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me, and if not, stay happy, stay healthy, and eat your probiotics.